続きまして、セッション1に移らせていただきます。まずは、トヨタ自動車株式会社技術統括部主査、広瀬克彦様より、Toward for Low Carbon Transport, Progress and Challenge of Fuel Cell Vehicles and Hydrogen Infrastructures for 2015 Commercialization と題してご講演をいただきます。広瀬様、どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you for your introduction, and it's a great pleasure to make a speech in this very honorable conference. So I'm going to talk about the progress of the fuel cell cars and the seriousness of the car industry and the progress of the hydrogen for 2015 commercialization. By the way, yesterday I was in Karatz. So Karatz is not so far from the Kyushu University. And Karatz named after the port for China. And this shows this is a showcase of the energy in Japan and world. You know, this is the Karatz Castle, and there's the big chimney here. This chimney is a power station, the oil-burning power station. The Karatz was built for the port, the trading with China. Then, in the Meiji era, the Karatz was furnished by the trading of the coal. Then the oil came. And then this port was down because of the oil. And they built an oil-burning power station. And this power station was shut down for the last 30 years after the oil crisis because of the main energy for the power station converted into the natural gas and so on. So even this last year, the energy crisis, this oil-burning power station was never restarted. But the energy has been already changed. But car is still almost 100% rely on oil. So the world is already changing far in front. Karatz is now talking. The reason why I was in Karatz is because of Karatz has a Genkai nuclear power station very close. And they are now talking about the renewable because they have a big wind power potential around here. And also they have a 60 megawatt wind power nearby. So the Karatz is now talking about the future of the energy, the renewables and wind power. But car industry are still far behind. So I'm talking about the car industry a little bit. So the state of the automobile is that's the energy issues because of when the oil price goes up. What happens? Because the people are forced to drive a car. Because if you are in Tokyo, maybe you can use a subway or a public transport. I'm living near Nagoya, only 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers away from the big city. But our family had 5 cars, not because of I'm working for the car industry. Because our society outside the city are based on because when my mother wants to buy something, she has to go to the supermarket, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, no bus, no train. So that car is the only way to survive for us. So when the oil price goes up, my salary goes to the oil. So I have no money left for my hobby or the. So that is the reality. Yeah. So everywhere, in the United States, Japan. Japan and the United States are a bit lucky because our income or GDP is much bigger than just buying oil. But there are many countries, they spend huge money to spend their whole GDP to purchase oil. So that is, and also the carbon dioxide issues and air pollution. Air pollution is almost, so our Prius is emitting less than some smokers. Or, yeah, or even the cows. Yeah, cows emit more methane than the Prius. So we are working. So that the very important technology, one is the technology to save the oil, like a hybrid or plug-in hybrid, so on. And other technology is using alternative or expands the variety of the oil. So alternate to the oil, the plug-in and electric vehicle, the fuel cell vehicle. But there's a big issue that someone shows the transportation of the hydrogen is a big problem, and also the storing the energy on the car is a big problem. So compared with the gasoline or liquid fuel, hydrogen or battery has very small capacity to store. So this is a big problem. And this is a comparison of the alternative fuels, EV, FCV, IC. There's no perfect fuels. So as Ambassador Ruth said, we have no silver bullet. We need to have a portfolio to use best place, best timing. And this is a hybrid. I was luckily involved for the Prius development 15 years ago. And actually, the next Monday is the birthday of the Prius in 15 years birthday. So I remember the very hard days, that moment before the birthday. But then, interesting is when 15 years ago, I never expect any further progress of the Prius. Prius was the technical showcase. It's a very good combination of the technology, but the reason why I was not expect, because of when we developed the Prius, oil price was only $12 a barrel. And then later, I proposed our executives that, the Prius can be, or hybrid can be flourished, popularized, when the oil price above $40 per barrel. But my big boss says, don't joke. So twice is, maybe there's a possibility. 3 times, but $40 per barrel is more than joke, he said. But only 7 years later, the oil price was $145. So I think that those pressure develops the new technology. Like when you you put the bigger battery for the plug-in, and you replace the battery with the engine, that's electric vehicle, or actually remove the engine. And if you put the hydrogen tank and the fuel cell, that is the fuel cell vehicles. And this is the potential of the BRF technology. This is the range. This is the carbon dioxide emissions. Actually, there are no real silver bullet. But only the fuel cell has a very big coverage than the electric vehicle or plug-in or internal combustion engines. So I have been working for engine engineers. As long as oil is available, oil is very good fuel. But it's very precious. So we need to keep as a precious material. And also we need oil to make not to only burn. We need oil to make your clothes or plastics. So I think this is very important. So this is our portfolio for low carbon transport. As long as the oil is available, the plug-in and hybrid is very good. And for small commuters, the electric vehicle, and middle to large vehicle with a fuel cell, and the larger, maybe the train or other alternatives. And this is a comparison of the efficiency from natural gas to this is the total efficiency, the efficiency to produce electricity or hydrogen. Then this is the efficiency of the vehicle itself. And if you multiply the fuel efficiency and vehicle efficiency, this is a well-to-wheel. And this is in direct connection to the carbon dioxide emission. So electric vehicle is very good in vehicle efficiency. But when you produce electricity, you emit a lot of carbon dioxide, basically. Especially in Japan now, we do not have a nuclear power at this moment. So we have probably efficiency is better, but you need to produce electricity to produce emitting carbon dioxide is higher. So anyway, we need to optimize the use of natural gas. So hydrogen is a very big candidate. And why the hydrogen is very good is also the fuel cell has very high efficiency. So even you put some energy to produce hydrogen, still you can reduce primary energy drastically. And another thing is very important thing for Japan or those countries who import oil is this is the ratio of the import for the gasoline engine, gasoline. So you have a big part of the money outside Japan and 56 yen for tax, and only few yen for the refinery and gas stand. So if the oil price goes up, neighbor, the gas stand owner become rich, that's okay because they will buy our Toyota cars or Lexus. But the reality is not. You spend a huge money for your gas at gas stand. Those money almost all goes out from Japan. So for the case of the hydrogen, this is a bit different because of the hydrogen can be producible from many low or cheaper material, like even for the oil has a residual, like previously you are now asphalt or this, they're previously burning, but they could be converted into hydrogen. And for US, the shale gas has a big potential to produce oil. So, and of course, currently the hydrogen is expensive because of you need a new investment to distribute. But after the distribution, depletion of those systems, potentially the hydrogen can be cheaper for Japanese driver. Or infrastructure, we can share with profit with the infrastructure. And very important thing is, many people ask me which is the future for the electric vehicle or fuel cell vehicles. So I think the battery electric vehicle is more expensive than the fuel cell in the near future, because you need a huge battery to drive 500 kilometers. That is the most of the people expect for the cars. So, and I think the fuel cell has a bigger potential to alternate the current normal use of the cars. And this is the advantage of fuel cell vehicles, as well as zero emissions, the performance, because when you drive the car, it's quite silent and very vibrationless and noiseless. And also driving pleasure. And very important thing for industry is, of course, societal needs is very important. Battery electric vehicle, fuel cell vehicle is almost equal, no emission at the road. A plug-in hybrid is very close, and hybrid is distant. But the cars are chosen by a normal customer, normal consumer. They will choose the car because of the convenience. And if you compare with those technologies, the convenience is completely different. Of course, if you improve the network or infrastructure, you can improve a bit, but it's not. That's why I asked Professor Sorenis, we need a methodology to implement the societally good technology with some economically lack of economical benefit. How to implement. This is very important. And for society, it's very clear because of the, this is the case of the hybrid. If you driving a hybrid car, you probably reduce your expense for the gas. For if you drive 10,000 kilometers a year, maybe you can reduce $2,000 or so easily. And the people thinking, oh, if the price difference of the hybrid and cars are 3,000, you can get within 2 or 3 years' time. But car exists more than you expect. The car stay 15 years at your society. So if the car reduces oil consumption of $1,000 a year, if the stay is 15 years, that means $15,000. But when you purchase your car, you do not talk about, do not think about 15 years time. Only you think 3 years or 4 years. This is the gap between the societal benefits and I can say environmental or personal. We need to solve this. And hydrogen has more advantage than the hybrid. That I would like to say. But absolute value is very simple. Sorry, this is a bit old one. Until 2004, Japan imports oil less than $50 billion a year. 5兆円. And now, this is 2008, that is $160 billion. Current value is almost $200 billion a year. Japan is 16 兆円. This is increase of this money is who paid for this? You, not industry. So actually, this is the reason why because every year more than the $100 billion, 10兆円 is consumed, increased to purchase oil or energy. This is a very, very, so if you reduce 10%, that's equivalent to the $10 billion. So this is the benefit of converting your car with an electric vehicle or a fuel cell vehicle. By the way, where is the fuel cell car? That is very important. So the industry are very serious. Toyota officially announced that we will launch a sedan fuel cell in 2015. And aiming to introduce tens of thousands in 2020s. This is the official announcement of Toyota in, I think 2 months ago, our executive vice president announced. And we will bring a car in Japan, North America, and Europe, where the hydrogen infrastructure is expected to be ready. In Japan, we will bring the Tokyo, Nagoya, and Kansai, and Fukuoka region. And this is some progress of our fuel cell cars. The fuel cell, the highest level of 3 kilowatt-hour per liter. This is very impressive even for me, because this size of the fuel cell generates 100 kilowatt. And also the important thing is this must be affordable. So previously those fuel cell cost millions of dollars. So now we are working very hard to reduce the cost. And the hydrogen tank also we are working. And we also announced that we will bring not only a fuel cell cars, but fuel cell bus. And we are working together with the industrial corporation, 日本自動車機 with a forklift. By the way, forklift is already flourishing in the United States. The Nissan is producing the electric vehicle by fuel cell forklifts. And BMW working inside BMW factory, the fuel cell is working to carry their parts. Then also the stationary. And also we are working to generate electricity from our fuel cell car to the house or this. This is the new concept. Because of after the last disaster, we need emergency electricity. And the fuel cell car has a big potential to provide. And this is a bus. Already bus has been implemented for the Chubu Airport or Tokyo City and Shinjuku Haneda. I think you can try Shinjuku Haneda now, I think. Then infrastructure, this is very important part. This is FCCJ announcement a few years ago that the energy provider will building an infrastructure much prior to the car accumulation. This is very simple. Many people talking about the chicken and egg. But without the infrastructure, nobody buys fuel cell. So this is very simple. And also we fuel cells manufacturer working to prepare the 2015 implementation, mass production. We are now very close to the point of no return. And also the energy company are working to prepare the infrastructure, and together with the government. Governments are working to deregulate the regulation. So 2015, starting with 100 stations and expanding gradually towards to cover the whole Japan. And this is the 16 priority issues for policy reform. The government are serious to deregulate the hydrogen, able to get in the real society. And this is a worldwide location of the hydrogen station. Japan and Korea. Korea is working very hard. And Germany, UK, France, Scandinavia, and US, California, and New York. and yeah, those places. So in those places, already the 100 stations for Japan, 50 stations for Germany, and 37 for early 2014 for California, and more in 2015. And in UK, they are now working together with the government, the energy company, and the industrial company, and these are the government departments seriously working together with the OEM and even the electric company. So electric companies are very much interested in the hydrogen now in worldwide. And hundreds of cars are already on roads, and they are accumulating a lot of mileage every day. So Toyota, Hyundai, and Honda, and this is Daimler. So I have been working for car industry for years. This is my personal vision. Because evolution of the vehicle system, starting with there's a coal-burning cars, even the steam locomotives, and the engine is steam locomotive, and of course manual transmission, and and then converted into the oil-burning engine, and the internal combustion, and the transmission of the automatic, now flourish in Japan, the US. Then the police came, the electric drive. And by this movement, the efficiency goes up. But why this evolution was made? It's quite similar to the life, because evolution of life is always made by some restraint, because you are forced to run. You are, unless you have run, you can run quickly, fastly, you can be killed, or can be some energy for somebody. So, then those coal burning or steam engine was killed because of the range, because the people want more range. And the automatic transmission was made by the comfort. And electric drive, as I said, when I introduced the hybrid, we never see that hybrid is now this year around 30% of our car sale in Japan, because of the high oil price. This is the restraint. But what is the environmental restraint next? Is the sustainability. Because we need a sustainable fuel for the sustainability. Then the evolution was made. I think that hydrogen is kind of those, but when we see the colors, already most of the energy very advanced than the cars. So this is a portfolio of Toyota, but from my vision, this is a portfolio of myself. So fuel cell cover everything. That is a solution to, this is the issue we are facing, and all interconnected. So north and south, or rich and poor, everything. Because this is the energy issues, the fuel issues. We need to cut all the relation to solve all the problem. Recently, interesting one is in Germany, because they already have a 50% or 30% total wind power. And they are trying to store the energy. And they electrolyze the water to produce hydrogen. And mixed with the biogas to the normal combustion generator and back to the electricity. And also this hydrogen can be used for the fuel. So this is a big trend now in worldwide. And recently, I'm working with the concept of hybrid. This is a hybrid grid of the electric grid and hydrogen and fossil fuels. So most of the people working on the electricity, they are only working with a viewpoint of the electricity. So they are trying to store the energy with a battery. But actually, we can convert the energy into another material like a hydrogen. Then hydrogen can be used for both back to the electricity or store for a while or trading or fuel for a car. So you can widen the choice. And at the same time, this makes the local production of the energy and consumption. Because as I said, Karat has a huge potential of the wind power. So first time ever, they can refuel their car by their own energy next to you. Then mass introduction of the renewable energy can be possible if the oil energy can be stored. And also these stored energy can be used in case of disaster. And then this will create a new economy of sequential energy value chain. So this is a job creation. And this hybrid concept, the I²CNER is officially involved. And Toyota, Nissan, Honda, and other companies and we are working together to realize. So this is a hybrid. So hybrid is covering the longer time of the energy and bigger, and together with a battery. So end of storage was not due to the lack of stone. I think technology and new idea will bring a new society. And luckily, I found this book. Do you know this? Gas and Light Coal Company. Because many people ask me that when the hydrogen economy will come or realize. This company, Gas and Light Coal Company, was built in 1813, 200 years ago. What was made by this company? Hydrogen. Because this company providing gas for the gas light, London, Paris, Tokyo. And actually, these are so-called coal-induced gas. That is, coal is partially burned and injected, water is injected into the burning process. Then the hydrogen is split from the oxygen and make the hydrogen plus carbon monoxide. This is the gas where the world was lighted in 19th century. So the world was hydrogen society before the electricity. And I have been luckily involved for the development of the Prius. And what I've learned is future is not predictable. But we can prepare for the future. As world is changing now, and we are luckily positioning to observe. But observation is not so interesting. Participation and contribution is more exciting. So I think the I²CNER of our audience has a big potential to contribute to change the world for the better world. Thank you in advance. Thank you.
広瀬様、どうもありがとうございました。